Welcome once again to TCR Asia, where round 7 will be in China for another round combined with TCR China. Now, last time out in Shanghai at the Formula One circuit, there were some happy faces and some not so happy faces as we hit the second half of the season. Let's look back now at the highlights from rounds 5 and 6 from Shanghai. Here we go then, round 5 of TCR Asia. Away they go, good start from the midfield and a good start from Ensler. He's already alongside Diego Moran and looking down to chase the Hondas. And Diego Moran just punting his teammate there. And a little nudge from behind. Talking of punting, out goes Alex Way and Alex Liu in that incident. Pepe Oriola lining himself up to come back at Moran, and he's got up the inside. Nicely done by the Spaniard. Gets completely sideways on the exit. And Ensler now has caught right back up with both of them. Here comes Lloyd, side by side. Lloyd's done it, has he? And she comes back at him on the inside as they go into the left-hander. Can't quite do it, and here comes Ensler. Oh, brilliant stuff. And Ensler goes from third to second. Here comes Pepe Oriola. Nicely done by the Spaniard. Through he goes and up to third place. Jay looks up the inside, but Pepe's got it covered. Oh, I say that, he goes completely sideways, will lose massive drive and back with 2 to go. And sure enough, the Chinese jigs to the outside and back to the inside. Brilliant stuff from Pepe. And Daniel Lloyd of Great Britain will win here at Shanghai. Great stuff. And a very, very happy Daniel Lloyd. Away they go! And yellow flags waving. Somebody stole that. Sonny Wong. Here comes Martin Shi as well. And there's contact. Shi comes together with Alex Liu. Here comes Ensler. Textbook overtake up the inside of the left-hander. Nicely done. And this the obvious overtake into the penultimate corner. And Moran will go through. Textbook stuff. And they're side by side. Whoa, they touch! Whoa, and that's, wow, dramatic stuff. And Daniel Miranda, the youngster, not holding back. Moran knows he's in a fight. And they're still side by side as they cross the line. This is as close as Ensler's been. Into turn 1 they go. Puff of smoke. As through the gearbox goes Pepe. Here comes Ensler, he's side by side. And something's got to give. Ensler's got the advantage now. He'll try and close it down. Pepe goes on the grass and loses out to the German. Great manoeuvre by Luca Ensler. But there's no stopping. Another double for Luca Ensler. Luca Ensler wins again here in TCR Asia. So then, with 6 of the 10 rounds gone, Luca Ensler extends his lead to 138 points. He's now 27 points clear of Diego Moran of Ecuador. Pepe Oriola still in the hunt, 86 points, and then Daniel Miranda in 4th with 60. So we turn our attention now to round 7, again in China, but one of China's newest circuits, Zhejiang, opened in 2016 near Shaoxing. This undulating 1.9-mile circuit will be a very different prospect for TCR regulars compared to the Shanghai Formula One circuit. Much tighter, much more technical, very narrow, and clinging to the mountain here in Zhejiang. Now, one team in TCR Asia with a very special story is the All-Malaysian Viper Niza team, who, led by Douglas Koo, became the first All-Malaysian team to race at Le Mans in what's known as the Road to Le Mans, a precursor to the famous 24-hour endurance race. Let's get an insight as to how they did it.
I guess as a racer, there are a few tracks that you always dream that you actually want to race at. There's always Monaco, Macau, Silverstone, Nürburgring, and definitely Le Mans is one of the tracks that I think all drivers dream of racing at. It's obviously an overwhelming feeling for me as team principal and as driver as well, that we will be racing this year at Road to Le Mans.
The crew is working really hard to prepare in the workshop packing container, and then in front we will change new engine, new gearbox, new suspension, new upright. Make sure the car is finished race in 1 hour in Le Mans.
This will be the first all-Malaysian team to be running at Le Mans. From the drivers, Dominic and I, to the team manager, Nico, to Ruben Wong, who is the engineer, to all the boys, the mechanics, all of us are Malaysians, and we're obviously proud to be able to represent Malaysia at this event. A feeling that I cannot describe. It's really nice. We thoroughly enjoyed the weekend, right up from the practice to the race itself, and we stayed on back to watch the 24 hours, which is again, hopefully one day we might win the ticket to do it. I don't know, but certainly the whole weekend was just fantastic. The atmosphere at Le Mans is just something else. It's once in a lifetime, but now that we've done it, we might keep doing it again. So who knows?
A really great story for them, and of course Douglas Koo and his team will be here in Zhejiang this weekend looking for more points in the Cup competition. They're currently second place at the moment. So then, on to round 7 of TCR Asia and TCR China. No surprise that the pole position goes to the man who won both races last time out in Shanghai, the youngster from Germany, Luca Ensler, in the Hyundai. What a season he's having. A brilliant year so far, leading the way with a gap of 27 points. Let's take a look at the full grid. Luca Ensler, alongside him, Daniel Lloyd, who races in the China Championship. Pepe Oriola is on the second row, and Huang Chuhan is alongside him. Row 3 sees Kim and Diego Moran. Kenneth Look a little further down, and then a good grid, including Rodolfo Avila, the man from Macau, racing the MG6. Good to see him. KK Wong, Roland Hertner leading the Cup competition. Douglas Koo further down will need to do some work to catch up. Green flag waves at the back then. Watch out for Luca Ensler on the left-hand side in the purple and red of the Hyundai. And watch for Daniel Lloyd getting a good start in the Honda. Away they go then. Good start from Ensler. Got away off the line well. Pepe Oriola already looking to try and get past Daniel Lloyd. We go on board now with Pepe into the first turn, which now heads uphill. You can see the S's swooshing up the hill around this mountain section here in China. Very technical circuit, and already Pepe Oriola all over the back of Daniel Lloyd. Now remember, he's not really racing Daniel Lloyd, but he is racing Luca Ensler, so he needs to get past Lloyd as quickly as possible, does Pepe, because he knows that Luca Ensler, once in that lead, will just start to pull away. So vital time now for Pepe Oriola as we go on board with Adam Khaled in 6th position, behind Daniel Miranda. Good tight start this. Second gear through here, a lot of second gear corners. And there is no time to relax at this track. You are constantly putting inputs into the car as it dives downhill. One of my favorite sections here, diving back downhill. And Ensler building on that lead, and Pepe Oriola at the moment can't get past Lloyd. Good start also by the Audi of the number 81, the Liqui Moly Audi of Huang Chuhan. He's made up one spot and now goes in pursuit of Pepe Oriola in 3rd. Lloyd, though, not giving anything up, and it's Lloyd against Han in the China Championship at the moment, so Lloyd will want to stay where he is, especially with Han on the move. Back with Oriola out of the last corner. Now, he'll line himself up. The next is a left-hander, quite rightly Lloyd jinks to the left-hand side to defend that position. Oriola goes to the outside. Ensler pulling away as they go back uphill again. Lloyd not giving anything, but Pepe Oriola as close as he's been. But Han has joined the battle too. And I think Pepe Oriola, if he looks at his mirrors, will sense the fact that he's got to get past Lloyd now if he's going to have a chance of beating Ensler. And Ensler could lead this weekend if he gets it all right with the championship. Oh no! Rodolfo Avila spins round in the MG6. And here's another look at the start. Good start from Han and the Audi. Pepe Oriola, look at him going from side to side, trying to get past Lloyd early on. And Ensler, very, very good off the line in the Liqui Moly Hyundai. Big success story for Asia Hyundai at the moment. And great to have Luca Ensler, who of course has got so much experience in the Middle East, in Europe. That said, we've got 3 of the top TCR drivers in the world. Daniel Lloyd, a British champion. Pepe Oriola, a multiple international champion. And one of the stalwarts of TCR since it began all those years ago. Pepe Oriola, the Spaniard. And now all over the back of Lloyd, the Englishman. And here he comes up the inside, and not too soon either, because Han just behind the Audi. Oh, a mistake from Lloyd as he goes wide at the last turn. And I think both of them will go through. And sure enough, now Pepe Oriola, with the lights flashing also on the Audi of Huang Chuhan, go past Daniel Lloyd as he just goes wide at the last turn, trying to defend that position. And now it looks as though Diego Moran is also joining the battle as these 4 battle it away. Luca Ensler is up the road by some 2 seconds already. Here's another look. Yeah, he tried to defend his position and then ended up going wide and off onto the AstroTurf, losing a lot of ground, Lloyd, in the Honda. Oh no, Douglas Koo, the Cup driver. It looks as though rear right tyre has just either exploded or come off. But he's going very slowly, and that will surely mean a pit stop and also a victory to Roland Hurtner in the Cup competition. KK Wong also fighting for the Cup competition. And there you can see, yes, it is a tyre from Douglas Koo's car, the 65 Viper Nisa car, losing the right rear, and they'll have to come in. Let's hope he can get it back to the pits. Meanwhile, back to the battle for second place. Pepe Oriola has done the hard work, getting past Lloyd, and will go in pursuit of Luca Ensler. But I think it's not going to be too long before Huang Chuhan catches him up in the Audi LMS RS3. And there's Luca Ensler. You can see the gap he's built. It's a couple of seconds now. This is a good battle here now. And at the back of it, Diego Moran, Adam Callan. Oh, and look at this. Han pushing on now on Pepe Oriola. Oriola, probably one of the most experienced drivers in TCR. Won't be perturbed by it, but it's never fun to be pushed around the circuit by a faster driver. Pepe Oriola just going about his business. It's been a tough year for Pepe. And sure enough, in comes Douglas Koo in the 65, and it was the tyre that's come off, and it looks as though they've got damper problems as well. But yeah, it's been a tough year for the Soul Light team and Pepe Oriola. He came in with much pomp and circumstance, obviously with his international pedigree. But new circuits, tough drivers, and through goes Han, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. The Liqui Moly sponsored man from China goes through, but has he gone too wide? Back comes Pepe Oriola, side by side between these two. The Audi holding him off for now. Pepe makes another attack. Daniel Lloyd now under pressure as well, just behind. Audi versus Hyundai. Pepe Oriola wants every point he can get. He's good out of the last corner, is Pepe. We saw that already. And quite rightly, Han defends the position, coming to the inside. Going into turn 1. Pepe will do the switchback, I'm sure. Yes, he does. But there's no room, really. And as you can see, it's pretty much a one line through the S's there, up the hill. Starts to open up a bit now, but you can see, when you see the onboards, just how tight it is and how little room there is to overtake. Constant movement in the car by the drivers. They're going to be exhausted by the end of a good 17-lap race here. So then, Ensler it is who leads. We're concentrating on this battle for second, third, and fourth place, which is growing in number, because just behind Adam Callan, go on board with him now, is just at the back of this group in sixth place. Young Malaysian. Just watch the gearbox. Third gear, second again, stays in second, all the way through these S's, and then just opening it up briefly into fourth, and then back through the gearbox into second gear. So I think there is one spot down the straight where they just touch fifth gear, but it's rare. So a lot of tight second and third gear corners here at Zhejiang. So far, this international circuit been used for both TCR and for Asian Le Mans. Which, of course, the Viper Nisa team, who you saw earlier, have been racing in. Out of the last corner now. Let's watch him go through the gearbox. Third, fourth. Just clicking fifth for a moment before back down to second gear. So, yeah, there is one moment where you're in fifth gear, and I think that's the only one. Now, meanwhile, Pepe Oriola mounting another attack. Lloyd's got away just a little bit from Diego Moran. Han trying to defend that position, leading in the China Championship. Lloyd second in the China Championship. And Moran now with the close attention of the Liqui Moly number 4 of Adam Khalid of Malaysia. Pepe Oriola looking for a way past. He knows that if he's going to have a chance of taking on Ensley, he has to go through, and look at this! They touch for a moment there at the exit of turn 1, and quite rightly Han defends his position. That's exactly what Han did to him almost a few laps ago. Pepe not able to get past, but this is aggressive racing by the Spaniard and the Chinese driver. And if these two keep taking paint off each other, the rest is going to catch up. Here comes Khalid as well. Here's another look at it. Well, the door was opened by the 81. There was enough room there for Pepe to make a challenge, but it got closed fairly quickly. I hope no damage to the Audi. Doesn't look like it. Pepe Oriola builds on another attack now as they go down the straight. One more time. For a moment up the inside, can't get close enough this time. Just have to bide his time and build again, and maybe this lap traffic may help. Luckily they're getting out the way. This is Pepe's big hope now, is that more lap traffic may come into play, but I don't think he's going to catch Ensler at the moment. This is more of a personal battle for Pepe, because really, obviously Han in the China Championship, so they don't really need to fight like this, and it's only going to end in tears if Pepe's not careful, but through he goes. Oriola, nicely done. And Lloyd now joins the battle as well. Now this is a real battle now between Han and Lloyd for the China Championship, and Lloyd senses that opportunity. Pepe Oriola holding Han up. Here's another look at the move. Nicely done. Just leaving the door open just a little bit then, Han, and Pepe doesn't need a second invitation. And Lloyd sensing his opportunity too in the Honda just behind. As across the line they come again. Time running out now. Here is Luca Ensler. And look at the gap he's been able to pull away. Brilliant start by the young German in the number 1. Been racing in Europe. Already a Middle East champion and an Asian champion. But then swapped manufacturers this year to Hyundai. And I think they're pretty pleased with their junior driver. Says his ambition is to race at the highest level of TCR, and he's certainly on his way there. Here's another good battle with the Honda from China of Martin Zi up against the number 30 Eurasia Motorsports Gao Hu Yang. Both of them racing in the China Championship, and here comes Gao. Side by side, the Civic and the Hyundai. But he's got through, or has he? No, I don't think so. Oh, and he goes off. Oh! And that was a tough move, but he manages to hold it all together. Well done to Yang. And now coming into the picture, the number 18 of Xiangzhen Dong. So a three-way battle in the China Championship as they cross the line again. But a very, very lucky moment there for Gao Hu Yang. Gathering it all together, having gone wide, just no room. And luckily the track designed so that you can do just that. Back with our battle for the podium. Ensler, meanwhile, is up the road. This is the battle for second place and third. And at the moment, Pepe Oriola in control, having got past Han. Time running out, though, and Oriola knows it. And also, look at these raindrops starting to fall here in the closing stages. Now, the key is not to push too hard, because you just don't know how much rain is on the other side of the hill. And it might be wise just to slow it down just a smidgen so as not to push too hard and slip off the circuit and ruin any chance of scoring points. Ensler's going to win this race. Here he comes, Luca Ensler. He won the double at Shanghai, and he's now going to make it 3 in a row as he comes towards the checkered flag here in Zhejiang. Started from pole, never looked back, built on that lead, and will now come out of the last corner to take the checkered flag and win round 7 of the TCR Asia 2019 Championship. He slows almost to a halt to give a wave to Kurt Treble and the team, and Dad watching on. Great victory. Good battle in the China Championship too. Pepe Oriola crosses the line in second for TCR Asia, and Huang Chuhan holds off Daniel Lloyd to win the China Championship here in Zhejiang. Important points for the Ecuadorian Diego Moran, though, as well as he crosses the line. Daniel Miranda gets a 5th place, and it looks as though Adam Khalid, and yes, gets across the line in 6th place. So some interesting stories which keeps the championship alive, certainly in the case of Diego Moran. One more race to be held here at Zhejiang, and as the rain started to fall, luckily nobody succumbed to slipping off track. Here's confirmation of the result then. Luca Ensler wins by a country mile. Pepe Oriola second. Huang Chuhan wins in the China Championship for the Liqui Moly team New Faster. Daniel Lloyd is second. Diego Moran also doing well in the Asian Championship in 5th place. Adam Khalid 6th. Daniel Miranda 7th. Kim Chin Soo in 8th. Kenneth Look in 9th position. And despite going off tracking for a bit, Gao Huang gets 10th position. And in the cup competition, pretty sure that Roland Hertner, with that problem for Douglas Koo, wins in the cup competition and will extend his lead, in fact, over Douglas Koo. And confirmation, KK Wong, in fact, beating Roland Hertner. So it was KK who picked up the big points for Elegant Racing in their battle. Rodolfo Avila with a little spin in the MGX-powered MG6. So let's head to the podium now to celebrate with our top men. And congratulations to the man of the moment, Pepe Oriola. And of course, Luca Ensler. Also, Adam Khalid getting the top Asian driver trophy. And Kurt Treble then taking another trophy. Where does he put them all, I wonder? Congratulations to Khalid. Let's head down now to the press conference and hear from Luca Ensler.
Yeah, I tried to push like crazy in the first laps to build a gap, because I knew that Pepe will be very fast in the beginning and trying to attack in the first few laps. So the good thing was for me that they were fighting. Yeah, and then in the end, if you have fresh air, if you have nobody in front of you, it's way more easy than when you're fighting for half a race. You destroy your tires and brakes. So there I was on the lucky side, and I think the reason why we won the race today was also causing to the good qualifying we had, that we can enter the first lap as P1 with fresh air and no one in front of you.
It took a while for me to pass Dan. It was having a little bit some problems, I guess, because it was really slow in the first lap. And I did not want to risk too much because, of course, he's second on the overall, but I was not fighting in terms of points with him. So I didn't want to risk to get a drive-through or whatever bad could happen. And then when I overtook him, Luca was way too far. But anyways, I don't think we have the pace still on the setup of the car. Now the engine problem that we had during the season.
Yeah, it was a very difficult fight. This track is really difficult to overtake. And I started having some temperature problems in my car because I was running behind the guys in front of me. So, yeah, but at the end I was happy with the car, with the race.
So I mean, it's definitely been a really positive start to the weekend, especially here. I think I've got a great team behind me with support as well, and they've really taught me a lot of things on how to approach the weekend. Yeah, the race was better than I have imagined. You know, obviously we were planning for this, but definitely, you know, you can never know in race circumstances. It was good. We felt really good in the first half of the race, and then I was right behind Diego. and obviously he's my teammate, and in points I just wanted the best for the team, and you know, it made no sense to make a silly move and risk everything going in. You know, I had a good position, he had a good position, so yeah, I mean, I just played it safe, and you know, it's only onward and upwards from here.
So then, with 7 rounds gone, Luca Ensler increases his lead to 168 points. Hyundai leading the way, Diego Moran of Ecuador on 128 points. And now Pepe Oriola over the 100 mark, he's got 108. And Daniel Miranda of the Philippines was 74. Some good racing once again from the tight, twisty and undulating Zhejiang circuit. We'll be back here again for round 8. From me, Jonathan Green. Until next time, goodbye for now.